Chembio is a manufacturer of rapid point-of-care tests, and we are in the market today using conventional single-path lateral flow tests through our marketing partner Inverness Medical with our rapid HIV test that were PMA approved in 2006. And all the while, we were developing and were prosecuting for a new patent for a new technology that we had developed called dual-path platform. And that patent was issued in the United States in March of this year. And so for the last several months, we've been developing new business opportunities for that platform. And DPP is an acronym, as I said, for dual path platform. And the reason it's called dual path platform is because unlike conventional lateral flow tests that have one strip, for example, a pregnancy test where the sample starts at one end and flows along one strip to the test zone area where you get the result, in the dual path platform we utilize a separate strip just for the sample material that is perpendicular to the strip with the material that indicates the result. And that allows you to develop tests that can use more challenging kinds of samples, whether it be oral fluid or different kinds of samples from animals. We just got USDA approval for some veterinary tests that if we continue, we would develop on DPP because of the flexibility that offers for sample types. And what Chembio's business model is for DPP is to go out and identify leading marketing organizations in the medical diagnostics field, whether it be in women's health or infectious diseases, sexually transmitted diseases, cancer markers, environmental, food testing, bacterial testing, and to identify companies that can be leaders in those particular markets and to develop and manufacture products, specific products that they want customized to their particular wants and needs on our DPP platform. What Chembio is very good at is developing and manufacturing tests, and now we have this intellectual property, patent-protected platform on which to develop these tests. And so we're very excited about the opportunities we have in front of us as we continue to build a list of business development opportunities with some very significant companies. We have announced over the last year several agreements relating to our DPP technology. As early as November of 2006, even before the actual patent was issued, we announced a research and development agreement with the United States Centers for Disease Control for a syphilis test with our DPP platform. And we've now validated that test, and we're going through, or we're in the process of completing the validation of that test. And that test has undergone some clinical trials overseas. Then more recently, in the spring of this year, we announced a collaboration with an organization in Seattle, Washington, called the Infectious Disease Research Institute. They're a nonprofit organization that is in the field of antigen discovery. And they own some proprietary reagents for specific neglected diseases, leishmaniasis, leprosy, and also tuberculosis and Chagas disease. And so we have a collaboration with them to develop point-of-care tests on our DPP platform using those reagents for those conditions. And now with the DPP patent issued and having brought in a senior vice president of business development right after Memorial Day, we are now focusing on the first world opportunities that we have for DPP with leading companies in the IVD industry and related industries in the U.S. and Europe and other first world markets. And so far we've announced one deal, and that was in July, to develop or to actually enter into an initial feasibility study with Paul Corporation. Happens to be the largest employer on Long Island. They're a New York Stock Exchange company. Chembio is on Long Island. And so Paul has several divisions that ultimately may have various needs for point-of-care products. But the first feasibility project is a product that we cannot disclose at this point, but it's in the bacterial detection area, which we think is very well suited for the DPP technology. We have some other feasibility studies that are funded that we are not in a position to announce, although we do have agreements in place. and we hope to be in a position to announce those in the not too distant future for feasibility studies in the areas of women's health, in autoimmune disease, and also in a specific marker for veterinary application. As I mentioned, Chembio has a manufacturing facility that is not only PMA approved by the FDA for our HIV test, but more recently, that PMA approval was, as I mentioned, last year, but much more recently, as we've announced, we have a facility that is also USDA approved, the United States Department of Agriculture, as well as now ISO 13.485 certified. So that enables us to go out to many companies that want to have a diagnostic test not only developed, but manufactured in a facility that meets the regulatory requirements. And we think we have exactly that. So that's where we are, and we're very excited about the opportunities we have in front of us. Our HIV tests that Inverness is marketing of ours and that they launched in the U.S. market in the first quarter are clearly getting better and better traction. We announced a couple of months ago that we had submitted the CLIA waiver application for the second HIV test that we had PMA approval for, but we had not yet gotten CLIA waiver for it. And actually we had applied but had not received CLIA waiver for it based upon the initial submission. So we resubmitted that based upon some changes that we made to the procedure, and we're very confident that we're going to get that CLIA waiver. And it's very good timing because the CDC is now awarding grants, has awarded grants to, I think, 23 states across the U.S. to in order to encourage the implementation of their new testing recommendations that they announced last fall. And so we're getting into the U.S. rapid HIV test market through our outstanding marketing partner, Inverness, at a very good time because Inverness is just doing a tremendous job of taking advantage of this new push to get more and more people that don't know their HIV status to be tested. Well, we just joined AdvaMed this year, and we thought it would be an opportunity for us to become more visible and network within the industry. We've had good success when we've been at focused trade events where we can meet and understand the business objectives and the product objectives of companies within our industry. Also, obviously, is a learning opportunity for me to listen to some executives that have been very successful in their organizations, business development, regulatory, financial oriented discussions, such as the seminar I listened to regarding the IPO survival. Well, I survived an IPO through a reverse merger, but it's always interesting to hear some of the challenges that companies that are public face as we're a public company as well.